So we have these thoughts that we keep repeating over and over and over, and they turn into beliefs about who we are. And we hold on to those beliefs. We don't like to change a belief. So we go through life holding on to them, believing we're one way, when all we really have to go on is a small little memory from maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And we've been living it out the whole entire time, because our brain is extremely powerful and it also loves to conserve its energy. So it's like, okay, this thought has happened enough times where we're just going to hold on to it now. We're just going to imprint it, and you don't have to think about it anymore. We're just going to act as if, okay? We're going to go forward and act as if you're not good enough. We're going to go forward and act as if you don't have what it takes to whatever it is that you want to achieve. Lose weight, change jobs, make $1 million, find the love of your life. We're going to act as if you are not good at whatever it is that you want to achieve. Like, it creates a block. It finds the evidence, and here is the most fucked up thing about it, is that thoughts aren't necessarily true. Hey there, welcome to the Aging Fiercely podcast. I am your host, A.M. Costanzo, and I want to talk to you today about discipline. Discipline. And how we get it wrong. How we use it in a way that probably isn't the most productive. So discipline is head down, right? Pushing through, gritting our teeth, trying to really follow through on something and dreading it. Or maybe not totally always dreading it. I know for a while there I was getting up at like 5:30 in the morning, feeling really proud of myself that like, oh, look at me, I'm so disciplined. I can get up at 5:30 in the morning, and then only to find out 3 weeks later, I don't want to get up at 5:30 in the morning. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. Yes, it was great at the time, right? And this is a very common thread. We do the thing that we want to do. We feel all good. We feel like we're so disciplined, right? Discipline equals freedom. And then a couple of weeks later, we're not doing the thing. And so what happens is we feel really bad about ourselves. Like, I can't believe I didn't do it. We come down on ourselves. We internalize it. It means that we're weak. It means that we're lazy. It means that we're not trying hard enough. Maybe we don't want it enough. We try to figure out what is wrong with us because we can't muster up the discipline to get the job done, to get the goal achieved, to lose the weight. You know, for me, to write consistently. Whatever your goal is, right? That has been elusive. And the easiest thing to do is blame ourselves. Be like, I knew I couldn't do it. I've tried this 1,000,000 times and nothing has worked. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm at my wit's end. I need help. What is wrong with me? Right? We really just kind of bury ourselves under all the reasons why we're not good enough, right? So here's the thing though. Here's the thing about discipline equaling freedom and what happens when we're not so disciplined. It's not that we lack willpower, and we should never rely 100% on willpower or motivation to get us through the hard, sticky parts. The third day in or the third week in, when we start questioning, do I really want to do this? This doesn't feel as good as I thought it would, or it doesn't feel as good as when I first started, right? That's because you're high on motivation. That's because you got the willpower. You're excited about this goal. But the more you do it, the more you show up in a way that is sort of forcing yourself to show up, it's not going to sit well. Your body's going to respond to it and be like, listen, we've expanded way out of our comfort zone. We need to pull it back in because it's not feeling good anymore. Like, is this how life is really going to be now? And we get scared. Our body pulls us back in by not feeling so good. And we're like, why don't I feel good? Why doesn't this excite me like it used to? Because we're trying to solve it by forcing it, by pushing through. And we don't want to use force. What's going on here is underneath it all, there's a belief. Now, what is a belief? Let's just start there. A belief is a thought that you've had numerous times. It's a thought that keeps coming up. And at first it might be a weird thought, might not be a good feeling thought, but you keep having it. And it's directly related to you. It's usually, I don't think I'm so good at this. Maybe I'm not as good as I think. I don't think I'm good enough. I'm not good enough. Because your brain starts to hear what you say and it starts to find the reasons to support that thought. So all of a sudden you're like, maybe I'm not good at this. And you look at something and be like, oh, I did try that and it didn't work. Or that time, like you have all the data in your brain and your brain loves to pull data. And it's like, here are all the times that this didn't work out for you. And it'll present it to you on a nice silver platter and you will eat it up. And you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm not good enough. Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily feel good, but it starts to feel really familiar. So familiar that you get used to it. And you get used to thinking this way about yourself. And kind of like the fucked up thing is that these thoughts are usually generated between 0 and 7 years of age. So a lot of what goes on in childhood, we absorb. The body takes in. And it could be one experience, it could be two experiences, it could be traumatic, it could be not so traumatic. But if it affected you, if you have a memory of it, it's in you. And your body holds on to it and it starts making assumptions about who you are from these experiences. And then you go off into adulthood and you have all these things that are back here that you don't really necessarily remember why or what happened, or maybe you do and you keep reliving it. And then it's getting reflected out into your world. So what's happening internally is showing up externally. So we have these thoughts that we keep repeating over and over and over, and they turn into beliefs about who we are. And we hold on to those beliefs like they are the most near and dear things to us. We don't like to change a belief. It is really hard to change a belief. So we go through life holding on to them, believing we're one way, when all we really have to go on is a small little memory from maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And we've been living it out the whole entire time because our brain is extremely powerful and it also loves to conserve its energy. So it's like, okay, this thought has happened enough times where we're just going to hold on to it now. We're just going to imprint it and you don't have to think about it anymore. We're just going to act as if, okay? We're going to go forward and act as if you're not good enough. We're going to go forward and act as if you don't have what it takes to whatever it is that you want to achieve. Lose weight, change jobs, make $1 million, find the love of your life, right? Like, we're going to act as if you are not good at whatever it is that you want to achieve. Like, it creates a block. It finds the evidence. You agree with it, maybe subconsciously, but it's there. And here is the most fucked up thing about it is that thoughts aren't necessarily true. We pick them up, sometimes from someone. Maybe someone said one thing and we internalize it. Maybe one thing happened, we internalize it. Maybe we did something wrong, I'm a bad person, we internalize it. And then we repeat it. And just because a thought has been repeated doesn't mean it's true. So the brain is very powerful. A thought repeated enough, the brain is going to be like, okay, let's conserve energy and just, boop, let's imprint this. You'll never have to question it again. We're going to act as if going forward. We're going to act as if this is true. And therefore, the belief turns in, the thought then turns into a belief. And then from that belief, you subconsciously or consciously, mostly subconsciously, make decisions based off that belief. And here's the thing about the decisions that we make. Decisions are instructions. You're serving up instructions to the universe. Yes, we're going to get woo. We are going there. This is energy. This is an exchange of energy. You are sending out a vibration. I'm not good enough for this to happen. Okay, universe is like, we got you. We're going to show you that you're not going to be good enough for this to happen, basically. What you're serving out, what you're vibing is what you're getting back. So you're saying, I'm not good enough to find the person of my dreams. Okay, we will give you all the people that are not worthy of your love, of your attention, because you don't feel like you can maintain a relationship. You don't feel like you can find the person of your dreams, right? You don't think you can lose 20 pounds? Okay. Because you've tried all a million times, we're going to keep proving it to you because that's what you believe. Those are the decisions that you're making. Those are the instructions that you're sending out. So follow the chain with me because this is the whole thing. A thought turns into a belief. From the belief, we make decisions. Those decisions go out and are instructions to the universe. Right? You say, I'm not good enough? Done. I will prove that you are not good enough, says the great universe. And there it is. So here's where discipline comes in, right? So all this stuff is going on, right? All this stuff is just happening behind the scenes, and it can happen within a millisecond, right? You have the thought, you have the belief, you make the decision, the instruction goes out, it's all happening, and you're like, why aren't things lining up? I need to be more disciplined, right? Then you start thinking, okay, let's use force to go against this. But here's the actual thing. On one side, you have this belief, and on the other side, you have this goal. And when the two things line up, when it supports your belief, and you can make an easy decision, and the instruction goes out, and it's very easy to fill, everything's lined up, right? It's fine. But when you have a goal, and it challenges the belief that you hold to be true about yourself, that's where the friction starts, right? And that's when we try to force it, and it never works because they're not lined up. They're clashing, right? So the real move isn't to overpower the resistance. It's to uncover what this resistance is. What is this block? You want to begin to understand what this block is. What is the belief that I hold to be true? And why is it going against this goal? Like, why do I feel like I can't achieve this goal? And here's why it feels so hard. Because when you act against an old belief, your body chemistry starts to shift and your nervous system starts to read it as a threat. Be like, you want that? How are you going to go get that? You don't believe that. You don't really believe that you can have that. That right there is the most powerful realization. You don't believe that you can have that goal. That's the block. There's a belief in there that's mucking up the works. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you don't have willpower. It's not that you're not disciplined enough. So there's a belief that's saying, you really think you can't have that goal. You can't do that. Who do you think you are? That's not at all within your realm of possibility. You can't do that. That is the block. When you come up against that, when you say those words to yourself, probably in your head, that's when it's time to be like, okay, there's something here. This is something that I need to look into. What is this belief that I have around this goal that I want to achieve? So your first job is to name it. Name what it is that you struggle with. Try to name what this belief is. What is this belief trying to tell you? What is it that you don't believe is possible for you? Right? For me, one of my goals is I want to write consistently. I try to do it using discipline. 10 minutes every single day, no matter what. Be disciplined, do it. And still, I can't do it. So my problem is I want to write consistently, but I'm not. Okay? Then you want to question why it is that you're not being consistent. You want to question the problem. Okay, so I can't write consistently, What is really going on? Well, there's a belief there somewhere. The obvious one is 10 minutes a day really going to make a difference? Right? You could say the same thing about a workout. Is a 10-minute workout really going to make a difference? We start to rationalize it. We start to be like, really? Is this really going to be the thing? Like, is this really the thing that's going to make me a prolific writer? Is this really the thing that's going to make me stronger and feel healthier in my body? I don't know. Maybe not. It's only 10 minutes. What's 10 minutes? I should be doing it for an hour, right? So all of a sudden we go from 10 minutes to an hour, right? Now we really need to dig our heels in. And we will find that that's even harder to maintain, so we don't. So now it's like, okay, let me question this. Is this a goal that I really want? Yes. I think we can all say we have goals for a reason. They're a part of us. We know we'll feel better once we accomplish them. Yes, if I'm a prolific writer, A, I'll get better at it, and B, I'll feel really good about it. I will feel confident. I know I'll improve my skills. If you start doing 10 minutes or 20-minute workouts a day, walk one day, do strength training the next day, and alternate it, yes, of course, you're going to feel so much better. So the goal, what we want really isn't the question, why we can't seem to get there. So what is it that's blocking me? So then we just want to start to question, okay, what belief do I have about this? What's holding me back? Sure, the 10 minutes a day, do I really think that that's going to make a difference? Let me think about this. 10 minutes. Do I really think that's going to make a difference? You know what? Sometimes when I start something for 10 minutes, I end up going longer. Because sometimes just starting is the hardest part. So maybe there's something to that. So, okay, maybe it wouldn't be 10 minutes. Maybe it would end up being like 20. Okay, there's that possibility. Also, how do I feel about my writing? Like, do I feel like it's good? Do I feel like people resonate with it? And then I'm like, oh, wait, well, you know what? I don't really know how it lands. Once it kind of goes out there, I never really truly know if it's landing with someone. So that makes me feel a little insecure. That makes me question, is my writing good enough? Am I reaching the right people? Well, I don't know. I'm not always getting feedback on every single piece, right? So is my community growing? A little bit at a time. It kind of ebbs and flows. All right, so maybe, when I do sit down, am I really focused on just serving up content that feels good to me? Or am I trying to please everybody? And then you start digging deep into these questions, and I'm like, you know what? I really do try to please everybody. I'm trying to please this faceless audience. And when you're trying to please a faceless audience, you're not going to feel good about what you're writing about because you're always questioning, is this going to hit? Is this going to land? And how can you know? So there's a lot of insecurity. And then is it going to be, that's kind of embarrassing. Are people going to be like, oh, she's a terrible writer? And a lot of the fear is going to start coming up. And I'm like, oh, I'm starting to realize it. Okay. So there's fear of being seen. I have a fear of being seen. Okay. Now the next step is, what can I do about this? Is this true? Is my writing really bad? Is this fear validated? Is my writing bad? I've actually never had anybody say, your writing sucks. Never. However, I have had people say, I love your writing. I've had authors say, I love your writing. So where is that in the mix? I don't even focus on that. Somewhere along the line, I've gotten so ingrained that I need to please everybody. And now I need to write for this nameless audience and be really good at it. And how are you supposed to do that? So really, the consistency was the issue because I was afraid to be seen, or I am afraid to be seen because I'm trying to please everybody and you can't please everybody. So how do I do that? I don't know. So why even bother? Right? Do you see how all of this just kind of there's layers to this and it goes really deep. And all you have to do is ask yourself a couple of questions. And what I highly recommend, which is such a great tool, is to write these things down. So I actually do have some journal prompts for you. Because I really am a big believer in this. If you do morning pages, write this out in there. Try to get your answers. Let's pull in that intuition and try to flesh out, what is the fear really going on? What's the block really about? What belief do I maybe need to alter in order to move forward? because pushing through is never the answer, because you're just ramming up against a block and it's going to keep stopping you. So let me just give you one really good journal prompt to take with you. And it's this. Ask yourself, what is the belief that is not lining up with the goal? Is this belief true? Or is it just a thought I've had a million times? Do I know where it came from? And is there evidence I can find against it? Take that with you. It's such a great journal prompt. It's so worth it to dive into these layers, because you really might find that what you believe, what that belief is just an old thought that you're just repeating. And if you make one little tiny 1 degree shift, you might be able to really get past it and work through that block. So that's what I hope for you. So I really hope that episode resonated with you. And here is the next step if you want company doing work like this. Every month I host a free workshop. It's called Working on Becoming, and I do it on Substack live the first Tuesday of every single month. It's on my Substack, Aging Fiercely. I will link to it in the show notes. You can sign up for it. It's totally free. We come on and we talk about things like this. We workshop through goal setting, and we set some goals for 4 weeks to work through that month. I have an accountability thread that you can hop on, and it's accountability in real time. So I will put that link in the show notes if you want to join. You can also dive a little deeper with me. I do one-on-one coaching, so you can head on over to my website and find out what my programs are. And there you have it. That was today's episode on discipline and how we kind of have it wrong. So if this episode resonated with you, and I hope it did, please take 30 seconds and leave a 5-star rating or a quick little review so we can help this podcast to grow. And if you're on YouTube, just hit subscribe. That would be amazing. And I'm here for you every month doing these free workshops, and also every week on the Aging Fiercely podcast. So thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you next time. Ciao.